A huge issue is spreading in the world of tennis, and I am sure that you will not ignore it because this is the subject of our lecture by Alexandra Eala. Recently, there has been a heated discussion about the match between our lecturer and the veteran player Viktorija Golubic from Switzerland. Many were surprised and angry because of Golubic's moves, which is now called by many as a good tactic to win the game. Now, let's find out what really happened inside the court and why it reached the point that it needs to be investigated by the Women's Tennis Association or WTA. Is it intentional that the veteran players move, or is it just a part of the intense pressure in the game? But before anything else, you may like this video, because this is a huge thing for our content creators, and please comment below if you are from the area so that we can know where our videos reach. Thank you very much. It all started when Alexandra Eala's game was running smoothly. At the age of 11 years old, Alex proved that he can keep up with the older players. He was able to score consecutive points, and it was obvious that he was in control of the game after he won the next 3 games. But in the middle of a good run of Alex's game, Golubic suddenly asked for a medical timeout. What is surprising is the timing of his stop, because Alex was about to serve but he suddenly stopped at the next point. The normal break for this situation should be around 60 seconds, but what Golubic did was around 6 minutes. Not only that, because after the timeout, Golubic talked to the umpire for a long time to question a decision that was clearly seen in the replay. For the experts and the viewers, this is not a simple rest because of fatigue or injury. It looks like a planned move to cool down Alex's game and destroy his focus. In short, if your opponent is good at waking up and playing, you will find a way to stop his speed by taking a long time. This kind of action is often seen in players who are tired of the game and desperate to catch up. What's even more painful is that this is not the first time Golubic did this. Last year in Budapest, and this year 2024 in Monterrey, Golubic also had similar issues where he was confused by questions, calls, and requests for timeouts that had no clear basis. Because of this long wait, the fans felt a great humiliation because Alex's game was directly affected. From a high percentage of his serves, his mistakes suddenly increased because he was not in the right state of mind. It's hard for a young player to remain calm if your opponent is using tactics outside of the physical aspect of the game. Now the news is spreading on social media and millions of people are watching the video of this incident. It is no longer surprising why it needs to be watched by the authorities in tennis. At this point, we are not just talking about a simple tennis game because it has become a national topic that has reached the news about boxing and basketball that we often watch. Because of what happened to Alexandra Eala, many suddenly changed their view of the game, where a veteran player seems to be imitating a talented player from the country who is just starting to get to know this game. Everyone was shocked because of the speed of the officers' action. Within 24 hours after the incident, the officers immediately launched a protest against the organization of tennis that rarely happens that fast. Usually, this kind of process takes many days, but because of the loudness on social media and the number of Filipinos watching, they were forced to move immediately to protect the sport's reputation. If it can be proven that Golubic's intention was to use these tactics to win, he can be fined up to $10,000 to $50,000. For us Filipinos, this is a huge amount of money that can reach millions of pesos. But more than the fine, he is also facing the possibility of being suspended from the next tournaments. For a player who is already 31 years old and his ranking is not that high, this kind of punishment can be a means to end his career. The price for these kind of matches is limited. And if this can be reduced by a large fine, or he will lose a chance to fight, he may not be able to recover from the hard expenses of coaching and travel. This has also become a big challenge for those who are leading in tennis because they have to choose between maintaining discipline or refraining from the controversies brought by many viewers. We all know that when there is a drama, more people watch, more people buy tickets, and the game becomes more popular. But the question is, how long will they allow the public's trust to be destroyed just because they want to earn money? This case will serve as a basis if they can do justice to all players, whether they are famous or just starting. There are many feelings that sometimes the officials are more open to the famous players compared to the newcomers. For Alex Eala, this is not just a simple defeat, but a big test of his self-confidence. In the middle of his effort to be known to the whole world, he has to face the psychological effect of this event. Alex's role is very important because he is the face of tennis in Southeast Asia and there are many organizations to promote sports in our region. If they cannot protect players like Alex from the unfair tactics of the veterans, the next generation of players may lose hope. This is not just about a court match, but also about the proper monitoring of how the players from Asia to the rest of the world. The decision that the officials will issue is not just about a fine or punishment to Golubic because it is deeper for the future of tennis. If the organization that will answer the veteran player, it will send a clear message to all those who do not accept any move that destroys the fair game. But if it will just go home in the blink of an eye, the new players in the system may lose hope, especially those like Alex Eala who came from countries that are now famous in this field. This is very important because the players from Asia are often watching how they will be treated in front of the whole world when it comes to these problems. For Golubic, the result of the investigation may be the last stop of his career because any heavy punishment will make his position in the field and his name in the industry difficult. On the other hand, for Alex, this experience will serve as a lesson on how to face the pressures that are not only physical but also in the aspect of thinking. His ability to get up from this bed will show how strong he is as an athlete of our country. The whole world is now watching the leaders if they will remain faithful to the sport or just let these things to be discussed. In the end, it is important to be sure that every game is based on a true story and not based on the time or emotion of the opponent. This case will decide how the next generation will treat the biggest obstacle of strength. As supporters of Alex, we need to watch every update because the justice he will get is a victory for all athletes who fight fairly. What do you think? What do you think about Golubic's actions against our team? Do you think the fine is enough to teach him a lesson or should he be suspended for the next tournaments? Comment your opinions below because it is important for our fans to hear about this issue. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates like this.